I call Moana Mackie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It is an honour and a privilege to be able to speak at the third reading of this bill tonight, and I want to congratulate my friend Lewis Wall for her role in bringing this important bill to the House. I've had a lot of calls from media at home today asking why I support this bill, and the answer is simple. I'm voting in favour because I cannot find any compelling reason why law-abiding, tax-paying Kiwis in committed, loving relationships should not be able to access the legal and social benefits of marriage purely based on something they cannot change, their sexual orientation. I am voting for this bill because I believe it will do a lot of good. Just as importantly, I am voting for this bill because I am utterly and completely convinced it will do no harm to marriage, to society, or to anyone else, regardless of how they may feel about the issue. I want to thank all those who took the time to submit, to write to us, to Facebook us and to email us. I certainly respect the deep feelings held on both sides of the debate and want to thank members of this House as well as members of the public for the largely respectful way in which the debate has been conducted. Although the person who sent me an email today describing me as an evil, God-hating reprobate may want to re-evaluate the effectiveness of their engagement strategy. I sat on the Select Committee for the consideration of this bill, and I was also a member of the committee that considered the civil union legislation back in 2003. I am encouraged by how dramatically the tenor of the debate has shifted. The vitriol that was evident back then has not occurred this time around. I also welcome the belated support for that legislation from those who now argue that civil unions are an appropriate recognition of same-sex relationships, that they provide adequate legal protection and are not a second-rate option. But as one submitter told the committee, civil unions aren't a second-rate choice if they're your first choice. And whilst I respect the beliefs of those who oppose the bill on religious grounds, I strongly believe that while it is the role of the state to protect freedom of religious expression, and this bill reaffirms it, it is not the role of the state to uphold one group's religious beliefs over another. The bill is also in the best interests of the many children currently being raised by same-sex couples. I could not in good conscience vote against a bill that would ensure all children in this country are able to benefit from the stability that marriage provides simply because some may disagree with the relationship their parents are in, especially when concerns that being raised in the same-sex family might impact negatively on children are not borne out by independent peer-reviewed research. This debate is not about special rights for some, it is in fact the very opposite. It's about acknowledging that something that used to be seen as so scary, immoral and different that my mother felt compelled to be an active member of a group called HUG, Heterosexuals Unafraid of Gays, is in fact completely normal. This isn't about gay marriage, it's about marriage and bringing marriage into the 21st century. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender and intersex people won't be any better or worse at marriage than us straights. They'll face the same challenges, the highs and lows, the successes and the failures. My late grandmother always had a wonderfully uncomplicated approach to life. At one point she became quite taken with Brendan, the partner of one of my best friends from high school, Peter. She told me that she would not be at all disappointed if Brendan were to become her grandson-in-law. I said to her, "But Grandma, he's gay." To which she responded, "Well, your grandfather wasn't the easiest person to live with. But you make marriage work." And she was bang on. If it's the right thing to do, then regardless of the difficulties or downsides, you make it work. Unfortunately for her, I decided marrying Brendan wasn't the right thing to do, but her point remains. Yes, marriage is a responsibility as well as a right. Yes, it may not always go to plan. Yes, there may be bumps along the way, but you make it work. And I know that thousands of Kiwis right across the country tonight are hoping that Parliament passes this legislation tonight so that they can be given that opportunity. I will be proud to cast my vote tonight for marriage equality. I am now going to sit down so that we can take the vote and pass this bill into law.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. No. The ayes have it. Order. A personal vote has been called for. We will conduct a personal vote. Ring the bells. Members, the ayes will go to the right, the noes to the left, abstentions will come to the table. The teller for the ayes will be the Honourable Trevor Mallard. The teller for the noes will be Louise Upston. Abstentions will be recorded by the clerk. Proxy votes must be marked as such.